So everybody, this is part 2 of episode 22 with Raelia Lewis, top model, runway fashion, beauty, commercial, you name it, she's done it. We just had a wonderful conversation previously we were talking about her podcast, and she'll be on soon. But hey, behind the velvet rope radio. We just got finished with her talking about her podcast, which we're not done, and she has an amazing podcast. And Behind the Velvet Rope Radio has an amazing podcast as well. They're on. Hey, Bill. They're on their what is it called? Your Christmas break, your season, end of the season break, and they'll be back next year. So yes, and check out Behind the Velvet Rope Radio Show, all their shows from everything they have done so far on their show. Yes, girl, I'm all over the place right now, but go ahead. So now with our conversation, here is Raelia Lewis, so we can finish start part 2 of When Models Talk. And Behind the Velvet Rope comes back in February of 2021. Yes. All right, let me add Raelia in. Okay. Wait a minute. There we go. Bam. Time. Noise. Shh. Okay. All right.
All right. My phone's charging a little bit, so it's going to be a weird angle.
It's fine. It's good. It's good. Mine's been on the charger the whole time because I know what it does.
Nah, I wasn't. I never charged my phone, so that shit hit the fan. And then I'm like, oh, it's going to die.
So you got it on charger now?
Yes.
Awesome. So, your podcast. Everybody just check it out. Just check it out. Check out the podcast. Everything is everything. You will definitely see that she knows a lot about a lot of stuff, and she gets great people to come on and inform you of certain things and certain topics. So it's really good.
I'm gonna have you on one.
Yay!
We're gonna do one.
It'll be good. It will be good because I think even though, and again, don't be afraid to come on a live or have a conversation about something. It's very organic. Every conversation we have is very organic. We can't, ain't nobody got time to try to be fake. I ain't got time for that. I can only be
me either.
I can only be me. So now let's get into, so talking about a person that is very sensual and all that good stuff. So you said that you've always been comfortable with your body.
Yes.
Which is an amazing thing. Because some people have not learned that. Is that something that you just grew up knowing? Is something that your parents told you? Like, how did you get that?
I think after puberty, I was like, okay, I just liked how I looked. So because I liked how I looked, I was comfortable with my body. I think if you're attracted, I don't want to say attracted to yourself. That sounds kind of weird. But if you look in the mirror, you're happy with what you see. What is there not to be comfortable with? So that's just my assessment. I never, the only thing I wasn't comfortable with for a long time was my height. That was different. I always liked how I looked. I liked my face. I liked my body. I was like, why am I so tall? It took me a long time to get comfortable with that. But then when that hit, it was like, I'm good. I'm here.
Okay, so
I think.
When did you realize that you were, why weren't you comfortable with your height?
The way the people would talk about me, the way people would react when they saw me, the way, even to this day, I can't leave my house without people gawking at me. Without people whispering, without people yelling things out of cars or saying things, I hear it. Are you an athlete? Sometimes I get model or just, damn, you tall. Wow, you're tall. Oh my God, you're so tall. Oh my God, how tall are you? Every single day. It's exhausting because, some days you leave your house, you don't want to talk to people. Yeah. You just want to go. You might not be in the best mood. You might not be dressed that day. You just trying to go wherever you got to go. And I got to answer fucking height questions. And I got to answer. And then men, Men are always challenging my height. You ain't that. You taller than that. And I would just rather not have to have height conversations and discussions every single day. So like that's the annoying part. I'm like, tall women have always existed. I don't know why we're acting like I'm some type of anomaly. We were always here. But people are so like enamored with my height, and sometimes a lot of it is positive, but you still get those idiots, those dickheads who say things, and I'm like, thanks. Like I went to a restaurant with my boyfriend like a few weeks ago, and I had like on these really cute slippers. They're like platforms. I'm already like 6'1". I'm in there minding my business, and he come in about 5'6", shaped like a circle, with his girlfriend. He gonna say, "Damn, she tall." Man, if I talk about your weight in your stomach, I'm gonna be the bad guy. Leave this alone. Leave this conversation alone. The last body you should be worried about is mine. You have bigger things to worry about.
I can't.
But when I say that, I'm the bad guy. I'm body shaming when I say that, but you're gonna say stuff about me. I'm gonna defend myself. I will defend myself because I like myself. And I think that is rude when people are suggestive about someone else's body, when people make you aware of your body or your flaws or what they see as a flaw. Yeah. And I'm like, we can do this all day, but like, why? We're adults. Just look and think it and keep it moving. Like, why are you saying like what? How were you raised? Do you get that a lot? Like, do people say things to you about your height?
So one thing was I've had a lot of insecurities growing up because I was in a joking manner with your family. Everybody wants to roast each other and talk about certain things, but they don't realize how much it affects you.
I just had this convo recently with my family.
I had that a couple Thanksgivings ago with my family because they was like, I didn't know you felt that way. Now, growing up, I've had you look like a football player because your shoulders are so broad. The fact that you're so tall, that was a whole nother thing. And I'm not even as tall as you. And they went in. So, and then
Girl,
that, you're skinny. So that made me wear baggy clothes. My broad shoulders, I wore a jacket because I didn't want people to see my broad shoulders. But everything that I didn't see as beautiful because I was teased when I was young, now I see as very much so beautiful because that's what the industry says is beautiful.
Right. So, yeah, like for me, I had a lot of brothers and so my brother was like, girls should not have big feet. I'm in a size 11. I have gorgeous feet. Oh my God, they're so good. But nobody believes it until they see them. They can't believe because long feet should just not be pretty, right? I had long hands, right? I was Arnhem-Board, I was Lurch, I was Yao Ming, Shirang, Tranny. Oh yeah, my brothers, like everybody. I remember being in high school and this guy saying to me, damn, Raelia, you're pretty, but you don't have no titties or no ass.
Wow.
If you had one or the other, you'll be bad. So I thought for a while, like, damn, like, maybe I'm not hot. Like, maybe I'm not attractive. And then, like, and guys did not like me in high school. Like, I had to go on prom with my brother. Like, guys were not interested.
Wow.
You know, so when I really grew into myself, I, like, had to find that confidence. Which I think is good because when you find it yourself, nobody can take it away from you. You start looking at, because my thing was I would look at other people who would say things about my body, and I never wanted to look like them. So I'd be like, you're listening to people you don't even want to look like. You don't want to be a circle. You don't want to be short. You know, you don't want to look like these people. So, you know what? Just figure out what you like about yourself. Because a lot of people project, and most people don't like how they look. So the easy thing to do is to make somebody else feel small because you feel small. Yeah. And I had to understand that.
Yeah, because a girlfriend, well, my brother's girlfriend growing up, she said something crazy to me, and I had to be like maybe 14, but she said something crazy to me because my lips were big. I ain't gonna say what she said.
I don't think your lips are big.
Cause
they're beautiful lips, but I don't think I wouldn't say they're big.
I'm just saying. But she made a comment because she was like, your lips are so big, but she said something so rude and disgusting when she said it. And at the time when she said it, I was 14. So first of all, I almost took it in like, oh my gosh, my lips. But then I looked at her, I was like, hold on, wait a minute, you just a hater.
Because when you see the alternative, you're like, But I don't want, I don't want to look like you.
Exactly. I was like,
you gotta be careful of your audience, like who you listening to.
Yeah.
Like that's what I had to learn. Like because even now I have people in my life who still say little things. I'm like, baby girl, I wouldn't. If I had to pick between me or you, it wouldn't be you. You know, like
I know that's right.
If I had to pick me or you, it wouldn't be you. And I don't need your suggestive remarks. Like, I don't talk about your body.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, a lot of people say little things about, for me, for a while, it was my butt. Oh, your butt's so small. So I like my butt. I don't want a fake butt. I don't want a big ass. I always like my butt. It's perfect for my body.
Yep.
But people project things onto you because they feel like they don't have what they should have. For me, sexy isn't a body type. It isn't a size. It's literally how you wear what you have. It's how you carry. So I hate when people try to like big up this one body type. I don't need a huge butt to be sexy. I've never needed that. I'll never have that. I will never get a fake butt. I'm not knocking girls who do it, but I don't think that makes me any less sexy or desirable not having it. Exactly. You know, so I think own who you are and you are not afraid of that and you show it to the world. It makes people uncomfortable, but it also shows people like you happy with you because I'm happy with me, and I had to find that. People always gonna hate. People always gonna have something to say, but as long as you know how you.
I know that's one thing I've learned over time of not just childhood, but being a model. That there's always, first of all, there's always gonna be somebody that's beautiful that's standing next to you. There's so many different exotic type of people all over this world that I feel like everybody's beautiful. I don't feel like there's actually an ugly person on this earth.
That's nice. That's very nice of you. You say I ain't agree. So nice.
You have look. Some people have a very ugly. What is it like internally? The person that they are can be very ugly.
I think that okay, you're nice. That's nice.
But at the same like I said, it's just so many. It's just you just have so many people. But like you said, with the audience, know who's around you, know who is actually to listen to. Because if you know, like don't be wrong, we all wake up sometimes. And I'm like, I don't feel cute today.
Oh yeah.
And I got this. My face is all jacked up and da da da. Like we all feel that, but I feel like if you remember how fine you actually are, because I know how to switch it up and switch it off.
You look gorgeous. You look great. You look great. You're glowing. Great. You look great. And what I've noticed is that sometimes it's your circle that hates silently. Like you know those jokes, but they really is truth behind those jokes.
Girl, I had to end friendships because of that. I don't like that. It makes me feel very uncomfortable.
We out at dinner, you see a girl 6'1", you like, damn, she big as shit. I'm sitting right next to you. just
as tall. He's talking trash.
Just say what you want. But it be that's shady shit. That's shady. You know my tall ass is. She like a man. I'm gonna agree. I ain't gonna agree. I'm not gonna.
Exactly. People do the crazy. People do the crazy thing, but also I also look at the fact that if you have a friend that is always saying, what's the word? What is it like they boast you up but put themselves down. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't have too much that.
Cause it makes me feel like, okay, I don't know, it just makes me feel very uncomfortable. Like maybe she gonna stab me in the back one day. Maybe. Cause it's like an envy or a jealousy thing that's not quite there, but it's there.
I think that people could be insecure and still see like beauty in you and not be jealousy, because sometimes people might not like something about themselves, but they can admire it in you. You know, that's actually honorable, because you have people who may be beautiful like you, but it's a competition, because now they feel like you hold the mirror up to what they could be or what they should be. And I feel like oftentimes with people who feel like they are equally as talented as you are or equally as beautiful as you are, those are the most frenemy kind of situations, because it's a battle. They want to stand, you get a compliment, you win something, they want to outdo you. It's like a here and there. But when you got but when you got a friend that's not, they don't really care about being a pretty girl, they don't really give a fuck about pictures, they want to be like do what you do, that's when you find those real like genuine interactions, because they're okay with who they are, and they can applaud them within you that they may not have, they might not even want.
But that's if they're okay with who they are.
No, I mean okay with what they are in a sense of they're not trying to be you, but they can.
Okay.
It may, right? That may not think they're pretty, but they may look at you and say you're so pretty, and they can give you that, and they can love you and be a fan of you for that. Like there are girls who like Beyonce. Who don't love Beyonce? All girls are all shapes, colors.
She is wonderful.
Right, and there's girls who know they may not be as physically attractive or as talented as her, but they don't want to harm her. They admire her for what she has. But then you got people who may be in the same field as her who feel like they should have what she has.
Yeah,
and
I get what you're saying.
Me, like you can be insecure and not be a hater.
Yeah,
and then you're confident and be the biggest fucking hater. You can be beautiful and be a hater.
Yeah,
you know,
I've met those type of women too.
I had. And some of those people are so pretty. You're like, what are you hating on me for? Like, you bad.
Yeah. That's
but they want to be you. Like they see something in you that they may not have or they may not know they have. And it becomes, like I said, a tumultuous, frenemy kind of situation.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that. It's energy that I don't need.
Me either. I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yes. So, getting into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So, in business, how are you branding yourself?
I definitely utilize social media a lot. I have all professional equipment because I think that your stuff should always look great. Mm-hmm. So I have like cameras, tripods, softbox lights, pop lights, strobe lights, and I literally just do a bunch of content shoots. I use social media. My dog is getting on nerves. Hush up! I'm talking to people. He crying like a baby.
Aww.
Social media, I use Facebook ads, which I cannot master right now. I use media ads, like consistent posting. I think that I sell products, I sell clothes, swimwear, accessories. So I think when you're selling things like that, you have to constantly be renewing your content. You have to make it look as great as possible. And because I'm a model, that helps me do that. Like I canvas, but also I hire models. I hire local models. I pay them and I have them come in and also help me sell my stuff. So I'm just always kind of creating, hiring people. I have a photo shoot on the 24th, where I'm just going to go in and shoot little rivals, go shoot some old shit that's been moving slow. I just keep shooting sales. I keep showing in a different way, on a different body, on a different background until I get what I want. I think that you have to figure out your market. You have to figure out your niche. And you have to do that by just trying different things, by testing the waters, because sometimes things happen over time. It's not like an thing. It's like it takes time. So I'm not afraid to try new things. I'm not afraid to invest. I'm not afraid to fail, to lose. Hey, Indy. And I brand myself by just consistent, just like investing in great equipment, investing in great creative, investing in great products, and just shooting my shot.
Okay. Because so when it comes to your swimwear line,
okay,
I know that you have had people say that it's very risque.
Yes. I missed y'all sound. I asked you.
So when it comes to that, how like what is your response? What is what do you think about that?
Favorite music. Well, I be professional, so I'm like, okay. But really in my mind, I'm like, girl, who asked you? Like the real, it's the higher vibrational part and it's the lower vibrational part. So the higher me problem, sorry, I wish I could serve you. It's not for fun. Thank you so much for your interest. But then the lower vibrational part of me is like, girl, don't be mad at me because you can't do it. It's not my fault. It may not be, JC Penney might be more used you know. But you know, you gotta
yes.
Attack people. I don't attack people. I just kind of take it in stride, but sometimes I don't like it because it's like, what do you get out of saying that? Like, just don't buy it. Like, why are you criticizing it? Clear, like everything is not for everybody.
Yeah,
I see a lot of shit that I would never buy, and I will never tell them why. I just won't buy it. Like, I don't understand the need to tell people things you don't like when they're not asking for your opinion. Nor do, like, I just feel like if you don't like it, then why are you here? Who sent you?
She said, "Who sent you?"
I have like got the look. Girls like got the look. I don't like got the look. But they make a lot of money. That's a multi-million-dollar business. So they have their people. So, you know, people find their way. People find their places. You know, this just might not be your place.
Yeah.
Also, that risque.
Yeah, and also you got to think about it this way too, because what I learned from talking to you, because I know people who have different lines, clothing lines, and different things that they have going on. And one thing I learned is sometimes they ask for my opinion. Now, you ask for my opinion, that's different.
Right.
But
that's different.
I do feel like when you have a clothing line and you're branding yourself and you're brand new and people don't really know what that line is and who you are, I think you need to take every aspect that you can, whether it's seasonal, whether it's whatever, to bring your line out and show people and use like a great piece, maybe a seasonal Christmas piece that's going to draw somebody's attention. Everybody want to do something for Christmas, for people who celebrate Christmas.
You love Christmas.
I do. I'm about to put my tree up.
I'm not Christmas bathing suit. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not gonna happen.
Well,
I'm not gonna do it. Nah, never gonna happen.
It could be used for other things, not just Christmas. Maybe put Christmas on it.
Mm-mm.
You know,
not happening.
That's not my lane. I'm staying out of it.
I'll have a Christmas out, but I will not have a Christmas bikini.
But Valentine's Day.
Never
mind.
I'm not really into like holiday celebratory swimsuits. I don't really know people that want to go out here and like dress up as a Christmas tree on the beach. So you know,
some people take vacation on Christmas. They be on the beach.
And beach.
People live in what's some other countries where they be having sun all year round. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to be a tree on the beach.
But I was thinking like more of like for Valentine's Day something cute, because when you think of a swimsuit, you also think it's similar to lingerie.
Not really. Very different purposes. Very different.
True.
Right? Like I feel like if lingerie, you can get a little more festive.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
Right, hand in hand. Like it's like perfect. Why not? You want to dress up for your man. You want to look good. You want to look cute. Girl, if you going on vacation, you going on a vacation. You put on a sexy ass one final kitty with a thong in the back. You set. You set.
That's true. That's true. And a lot of people, and I feel like being comfortable. A lot of people are when they're going away. When they're wearing a bathing suit that they may not ever wear in New Jersey. They live in Jersey, but
like I'll wear it to Sesame Street. I'll wear my thong to Sesame Street, but that's just but some people need to go away to feel comfortable, and I get it. Yeah. I get it. I have it. If you need it, I got it. I have the swimsuits if you need it. I know that everybody is not me.
And look, you know what? There's always a wrap. People can
wrap. I have cover-ups. But see, you're more conservative, so I'm. I would love to know what's your ideal swimsuit.
Who, mine?
Yeah.
Number one, I have stretch marks because I've had children. So I like you have actually one that is very high waisted. And it's like a rub.
Okay,
on the bottom and the top. I did see that and I really like that. So I already knew. I was like, I will wear that.
Yeah, dealing with. I have so many women that's like, I want to find a great bikini. And I'll start showing my options, and they have so many reasons why they can't wear something. They're like, no, my titty's too saggy. I can't wear that. There's no straps. So I'm like, okay, what about this one? No, I got stretch marks. I can't wear that. My stomach too big. What about this one? No, my butt out. What about this one? That's too. I'm like, girl, who sent you here?
You know what? It's not for you. So if you want to go to JCPenney's or Macy's or whatever, you go there.
I didn't know it was this complicated because I've always liked my body, and my mom calls me an exhibitionist. She's like, you just would walk around with anything on, as long as you're showing something. So I've talked to women, and they're like so reserved. I'm like, what is this? Why are you like it's so abnormal to me because I'm like the polar opposite. So I don't understand.
I think I just have to. It's being comfortable, and it's also being confident. You have a lot of confidence in your body because that's something that you know that. You see your body as beautiful. You see it as, a masterpiece, where some people don't see their body in that way. So it takes a lot of confidence and really saying, you know what, I'm going to wear that because I am cute and I'm hot in this. Me, I still be like, okay, I got to work on my abs before I put this on.
And you look great, so I don't help me understand. I don't know.
It's going to be okay.
It's you.
You know what? And I think it's also my brand too, because I've taken photo shoots. I did one photo shoot in a bathing suit.
I did one.
One.
Just one
And one commercial where it was because we were at a water park. But
I think I said kind of ad. I saw that ad. Is it Pocono?
It was a Pocono.
I saw that. I saw you. Yeah. It was really good. I went there for my birthday, and I was like, I know her.
Yeah. I haven't been back since. I've been back once, twice, and that was it. But yeah, I did that one time. I mean, those two photo shoots, and the one photo shoot I did before that, that's when I first started modeling. And I think in my head, I just didn't want for people to see that. I didn't want them to have only, okay, let me just book Catrice all the time for only swimsuit, and I didn't feel 100% comfortable doing it. So
okay,
that's why I don't put it on there. But come next year, because somebody asked me, they were like, do you want to do a photo shoot on the beach? And I was like, I gotta wear a bathing suit.
So we don't. Okay,
that's something I have to work on. But for me, I feel like I would have to get my body the way I feel comfortable with my body in order to do it.
I respect that, but I talk time. A bikini body is not size. It's not a weight. It's about how you feel about who you are. I got girls plus size, beautiful BBWs that are like, when can I model, baby? I'm ready. Yes. Okay. It's some bigger size to get my girls popping. I need more body inclusivity. I need more, because there are girls that the girls, and I would love to have different curvier girls. So I really think it's a mindset, and it's within you. Yeah. Confidence is sexy is not one figure. I know it sounds cliche, but it's not. I see sexy in so many different body types.
Yeah,
it's like innate. It comes from within. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I'm working on it.
Hey, Gio. Yeah, please get it together. You're a young girl. Get it together. Put on the swimsuit. Wear the. Get it together. Wear the slingshot.
Well, look. I'm like, my butt out, Raelia. No.
Good.
But and the crazy thing is, I actually do love my body though. I really love.
You have a great.
I know, but I think it's just maybe subconscious. I fall back into that space I used to be in, where I used to dress like old maid, y'all, years ago.
Crazy. I'm around that, Michelle Obama. I can't wrap my mind around that. This young, beautiful girl.
We're going to get there. So now I'm talking about, let's get into talking about, because I definitely want to talk about this. And that is, let me make sure I get it right.
Yeah.
and that is the family dynamic, because we had a conversation about that. And
yeah,
pertaining to, okay, so a question was asked where, who gets fed first in your house? Me and my girlfriend had a conversation about this.
I will eat.
So meaning, does your husband or your man get fed before the kids and then all that good stuff? She didn't quite agree with what with what was said. She was like, no, I feed my kids first. The man, why is he getting it first?
My man won't even eat if my food not in front of like me. Like we at a restaurant and his food come first, he'd be like, no, I'm gonna wait. And I'm like, eat, because I'm gonna eat if I got my food first. Like he will wait. And I'm like,
he's a gentleman.
Yes. So I don't understand this who eats first stuff. This is ridiculous.
So then it turns into, okay, when it pertains to the man being head of the household. Now, what if the woman makes more money and the man does not? Just little simple things of that nature. When it comes to what are we really teaching our kids? Like, what are we supposed to be teaching them as far as the household?
I think we're raising our daughters to be sacrificial lambs and to depend on men and to be dependent on for basic life skills, experiences, and tools. To tell a child that a man is going to come and save her because he has a penis is beyond me. It's ridiculous. I think we should be raising girls to value education, to value self-ownership, loving thyself, to value using their voice, to value learning what they want as an individual, not as a wife, not as a mom, but like, who are you individually and what do you want outside of what society says you should have? Yeah. I think that's important because guys, they get that lesson. They're allowed to go soak their oats or soil their oats and have these great experiences and be irresponsible. And you know, for us, we're always like being like trained or prepped to be a fucking wife. Now, in my household, trained or molded to be a wife at all. I think I had a very different, more liberal upbringing, though. But most girls are more traditional. Most girls do think that they have to adopt these misogynistic views to be men. And I just don't understand or agree with the logic that a woman should do this one thing, that we were all put here to do this because we have vaginas, that we are incapable of doing certain things because we have vaginas. Bullshit. And then when you think about women like fucking Fannie Lou Hammer, Harriet Tubman, do you think, imagine if she waited for her husband to want to get out of slavery. He was scared.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine if she waited for him to say, go here, you can go over yonder and run. Like, imagine that. So I'm like, we have an amazing, a powerful woman who have pioneered so many life-changing movements, and yet we're waiting today for some man to say, you're good enough. We're into the possibility that someone else can love us. And I think it's ridiculous. I think it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think it's I agree with everything you just said. Everything.
Somebody said, gorgeous, you look like the young Gabrielle Union, baby. Great.
Yes, I can't with you. But you know what?
Hey, Randy, thank you.
When growing up, so this is where we have so much of a difference, because growing up, and it wasn't that somebody told me or taught me that, it was what I've seen, maybe watching watching the television, and
you were influenced. I said you were influenced in some way.
Yeah, about the fact that like when I first got my first relationship, I was like, I have no problem being a housewife. I'll be home, I'll clean, I'll cook, I'll do everything. I'll sit back and I'll wait hand and foot for him.
Please, you're going to cook everything, so you might want to slide on her DM. I'm selling you off to people.
You know what? But I'm over here trying to get my words out, and you over here reading the comments. So, but yeah. So the whole time, but that was my thought process. Like, oh no, my man does get fed first. No, the kids come second, and I'm last. Like, that was my process, my thought process for literally 8 years. or at least 6 out of those 8 years. I didn't have a voice. I didn't speak up. I went with the flow. I did all of that because I didn't have someone telling me different. Nobody was telling me like, no, stand on your own 2 feet, discover who you are as a woman.
Yeah.
As a mother. I didn't have that. So that was, oh no, I want to get married. I want to have a ring. I want the white picket fence. That was what was in my mind. Now that I'm older, it's completely different. Now that I went through that experience early, where I have kids now, and I know what I don't want to teach my daughter. You know, that's something. And I had a conversation after our conversation that we had. I had a conversation with my daughter, and I was like, "Hold on, wait a minute. Let me take what Raelia said." and share this with her because I don't want her to have to go through a 9-year process of not being able to speak up, and then when after you come out of that, not knowing how to shut up in a way because you're just over. Yeah. You're like vomiting.
Yes.
Over everybody.
Yeah.
So, because certain things you don't need to tell nobody, and certain things is something that needs to be said.
Yeah, I think I've always vomited over everybody my whole life. But I think it's good that you can see both sides and that you can be open to seeing like a different narrative. Because I think that of falling into that more traditional aspect of living, and I always thought that was nonsense, and that's not to be disrespectful. Just never correct my mind around why all women had to be just this one thing.
Yeah,
and I was being whatever they wanted to be, but I gotta be a step for wife.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Michelle Obama. Okay.
She said, I don't want to be Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is awesome.
She's amazing. But I don't want to be that. Her dress is too long. I love her. But she's an elegant woman. I am not those things. I've never wanted to be sophisticated or elegant.
She said, I never want to be sophisticated or elegant. I can't with you.
I haven't. I think that it's okay to be who you are and to show up as yourself. And I don't think you should be focused on fitting into boxes. To me, sophistication and elegance is really boring. And it seems like when men push things, it's because it makes them comfortable.
Yes.
I'm not anything wrong with sophistication. I think women are very beautiful when they're sophisticated. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to wear some short dresses and live my young life. A lot of my family. I go to the church no more, or I'm not trying to be in politics and wear turtlenecks and stuff. I don't want to do that.
She said no, ain't gonna happen.
Girl.
But and that's where like our differences are in, because I've always seen myself growing up. So ever since I watched Tuka play that game, when I saw Vivica Fox with that daggone suitcase and she was walking and she was smart.
But she was sexy and hot in that. She wasn't Michelle Obama.
No, she wasn't. But that whole the whole idea of her being her own self, businesswoman, on top of her game, like that empowered me to be like, that's what I want. But still having the mindset of, okay, I want that. But I think we have to be very, very, you have to be very mindful when it comes to dating too, that you're staying true to yourself. Because sometimes we hide ourselves from the person we're with instead of actually being the fun. Oh, I don't want to say nothing stupid. The last relationship I was in, he looked at me like every time something came out of my mouth, he said, "You sound dumb." Like,
or you don't want to mess it up. You want to be a catch, so you want to show him all the things you are not. Like, when you first get a job and you lie and you tell them you can't communicate and you want to come on time every day. You do that in dating, and then at the point, the mask reveals, it falls off.
Yes, it comes off real quick.
They see who you really are. So this is my dating method. Just go in and just be yourself. Just go in and just be you. And if they like it, great. And if they don't, fuck them. Because I will rather, hey, Rue, I will rather be honest and open and upfront from the very beginning than have to walk eggshells and hide who I am. And I think I'm too explosive. Like, my personality is too big to be a secret. Like, give me a few shots of vodka and you're going to be like, So, so it's like, I might as well just let you know that I'm a good time.
She like, I ain't holding nothing back.
Because why should I?
You know, but the great thing about you is the fact that you are your authentic self. And I feel like some women don't grow up being that. They are taught to hide themselves. They are taught to not to speak up, not to say certain things, because you don't want to sound like you're not educated. You don't want to come off as this person that is not sophisticated. And so you hold back so much stuff. And that's how I know I lost my voice in my relationship that I was in, because I didn't speak up. I just went off of, okay, well, I don't want to sound stupid. And then on top of that, you don't know who you are.
Yeah, you're always learning.
So I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, what do I like? What don't I like? Okay, I know I don't like that anymore because I tried that and that ain't make no sense. So I think developing yourself, I think during your 20s, first of all, from the time you're born till you're 20, you trying to figure stuff out. You just like, I'm just going, whatever.
I said the time you're born till your 30s.
It's true though, because now that I'm at the age that I'm at, it's like, okay, now I know, okay, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. I've had enough dating experience to say, okay, this is what I don't want, even though I still have more to go. But there's, you know what? There's so much stuff that I'm learning now, and I already got my kids out the way, so I'm like, ain't no more of those. I'm over that. So that's a wrap. So now it's just really my time to really tune into more. Over this pandemic, I've really, really learned what I don't want. I'm over people and child. It's like, I'm tired of being nice, trying to be nice to your feelings. I'm just gonna tell you. Because
be honest, it helps you. It allows you to release your feelings, so you don't have to be, pent up and full of all this emotional baggage. I like to just get whenever I have an issue with somebody, I have like a 1-day rule. If I'm mad at you, I sleep on it. If I wake up and I'm still mad, I'm sending you a voice memo.
I'm sending you a voice memo. Now that's pretty good. That's good.
Because I don't want you to call you because you want to say something, I might forget my point. So I'm going to get it all out. I'm not going to text it because I want you to hear me too. I don't want you to misconstrue or misunderstand me. I'm going to send you the voice memo, let you hear it, and just let you, and then when it's out there, it's gone. I don't harbor it.
That's true.
I feel heavy. I said it. Next. And I forgive. We can get past it. We can move on.
Yeah.
I'm not, fuck yeah, get out of my life. Like, we ain't going to always get along. I understand that. Let's move. But I have to teach people how to treat you. You have to help people.
That's true. That is true. Even in friendships, even in relationships, and
friendships. Because for me, like sometimes we're harder on men than we are on our friends, and friends are life partners too.
But wait a minute. I've had this conversation with girlfriends, and they was like, "Wait a minute. Why are some women so quick to leave a friendship rather than their man who's doing the most?"
Okay, that's true too. That's true too. I think because we ain't had sex.
I was trying to tell her. I was like, look, you're trying to compare two relationships that are not comparable.
And then it's like, it's a life. Like, I live with my man. He is my routine. He is my daily. Girl, I talk to you once a week. Then and then like, but it's some friends that's like, we family. So like, of course I'm gonna grieve that. I'm gonna miss that connection. Don't get me wrong, but it's like for most, I've cut off friends, because like, you like, girl, you just here to use, you just here just to be around, we ain't really got the same values, the same morals. So like friendship ain't really going nowhere. That's easier for me to recognize. But of course, with my relationship, that's a very complicated, complex thing, and it's passion, it's emotion, it's sexual, it's just so many things. Girl, you ain't in my bed. Bye.
Exactly.
But it's different because you're building a family with a man. With friends, you're just like normally having a good time and building bonds, but they're just like platonic bonds. So it's a lot different. But hey, friends, I love y'all.
Yeah, I love all my friends too. There's a handful.
Friends.
Well, you know, it's a process of learning how to be a friend over time. I tell kids now, it's like, y'all know how to be no friend.
Yeah.
Y'all like 10, 12. Y'all know nothing about no friendship. Y'all just be ready to, y'all talk behind, y'all do too much.
20s. You're a real bad friend until you're like your 20s. So you really start to understand like life.
Yeah.
And you some shit. Because a lot of times when you're young, you're just thinking about the self.
Yep.
You see that for you, but you ain't never show up for nobody either. You know, you focus on your world. And when you step out of your ass, out of yourself, you start to see the part you play in things, and you start to see how you have to show up for other people and be the person you want. You know? So I think you learn how to be a good friend. You learn how to be a good lover. Like everything is a learning process. Nobody starts out as great, you know. Steps and experiences and lessons.
Okay, so touching on experiences. So you have lived in multiple places.
I have.
So some of the things that I know that you live, that you have actually been to. I know you've lived in Africa.
Yeah.
Was it LA and Miami too?
For a year. Miami for a bit. New York for a little bit. I always thought I wanted to leave Philly, and then I left and I came back. I was like, nah, I'm good.
So how was that experience? Definitely in Africa. How was that experience?
Africa was beautiful, but it was dangerous and it was too far. And it was also the cultural clash. It was like that element, and I missed like that. I missed Philly, but I enjoyed my time there. I felt like time didn't matter. I didn't feel that need to be achieving as much. You know how when I feel like when I'm in the city, what are you doing next? What's happening? Or when I was there, I felt like it was very zen. It was very therapeutic. LA is too much. I hated the traffic. Too busy, too big, too surfaced. It just lacked a lot of things that I appreciated about life, and I didn't feel connected there. And I felt about New York, and I realized you just ghetto, you just love Philly, and that's
it is.
Right. I tell everybody I love Philly. I choose to live here. My home is here, my family's here, my man is. I will always live here, no matter how much money I get, no matter how far I go. I'm gonna come right back to my house in Philly. You know, my house is better and bigger, but like I love it here. You know, and Philly has great neighborhoods. It has, you know, you out the way, and I just like it here. It just feels like home to me. But I definitely try to live other places.
Well, and I actually admire the fact that you actually did step out and go different places, because I feel like some people are so afraid to do that. They're afraid to step out of the box and say, okay, I'm going to go here. Especially, look, I know I've only lived in Jersey. So I do business in New York and I do business in Philly. But the process in that is, it's like, I know I want to go to other places, but sometimes there is that fear of like the unknown.
No, it's really scary. And like when I first moved to LA, I remember feeling so many emotions. I remember being excited, like finally did it. But then like when reality hit, and like I lived in a house with roommates, and they all went and found like 9-to-5s, and I didn't want to work. I didn't want a 9-to-5. I wanted to be a star. I wanted to model, right? So I would be in this big ass house by myself, lonely. And what I learned was that you take yourself with you everywhere you go. If you're not happy in Philly, you ain't gonna happy you're not gonna be happy in LA. You're not gonna be happy in New York. You're not gonna be happy anywhere. Like happiness comes from within. It's not a destination. And that experience showed me that. And I was really down and depressed, really lonely. And it got to a point where I was living in Philly on my mom's couch months at a time to not have to go back home to LA. I did not. I felt dark. I felt heavy. I just felt like I wasn't balanced. Like I wasn't where I was supposed to be. That was a really long and tough year, because I thought that was the year where I would be awakened and I would be closest to my dreams. And it was the exact opposite. It was like you dig the grass, you go to the other side, the grass you was at was better. That's exactly how I felt.
Wow. Well, at least you experienced that, so you know you even learned more to appreciate where you're from.
Yes.
So,
And though, like, opportunity is also everywhere. Like, it's 21st century. You can travel, you can get on the plane, you can get on the train. You can being in LA doesn't make you any less closer to your dream versus being in New York. New York has a great market for modeling, great clients. So I was just blessed to be able to live in Philly, to live so close to a place that was buzzing with opportunity, and I could just get there like that.
Yes, because I hop in my car real quick, get over there, and get back.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you're signed to multiple agencies. How do you get signed to multiple agencies? An agency in Africa, and you're in Philly.
Because I have a mother agent, and mother agents essentially, they sign you, they develop you, and then they push you in other markets. So they place you in. You can be signed in any state. You can't be signed in the same state twice most normally, unless it's like a parts agency or a commercial agency. But you can literally be signed in LA, Sacramento, San Diego, Philly, Jersey, New York, Boston. You can be signed to all these places. So what your agent does is they list you on their website. Sometimes agencies scout you on the website. Sometimes they submit you to agencies, and agencies say, we love her. Can we see more? You know, they kind of make that interaction. That's why I love having a mother agency, because they really put you out there.
Okay, so, and we all know that I was never big on having an agency.
So how did you get the job in the Poconos without an agency?
Say that again?
The booking in the Poconos without an agency.
So the Poconos was the agency.
Okay.
Ulta was myself.
How?
So, number one, I don't mind. I have no problem opening my mouth and saying something at all when I'm at. So what I did was I actually signed on to casting networks, different things, and just went to it. Submitted myself, and then booked it that way. And that's how I got it. And I didn't know it was going to turn out to be a campaign for over 2 years every time, and I'm all over the place.
That's awesome.
I was like, where did this come
from? That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's, and like other things that I've done, a lot of things I got without an agency. A lot of things I got with an agency. But me, I just don't have a very good taste about having agencies. But because I've talked to models like yourself and other models that have agencies, and they're saying in order to get to bigger campaigns and do so much more.
Yeah, more consistent work. And to get more consistent work, because you'll get lucky here and there. You'll book a job like casting networks or do like social media. But like to be like constantly in audition casting rooms and to constantly be working, I think it's good to have an agency or several.
Yeah, and not being afraid to have more than one.
Yeah. Yes, and then like you don't mess your job with everyone. It won't always be a great experience. It won't always strike gold with every agency, but you know, you chalk it up and you keep on moving. People are people. Thank you.
I agree. And so getting into, because I want to before we go, I want to get into your book, Trust Your Journey.
Trust Your Journey.
So I have not had it, and I'm mad about that because I ordered it, but it still ain't come through.
I don't understand that.
But I'm still going to read it though, and I'm going to post it. And I'm going to talk about it. But after I finish reading it. But let me know why you decided to create this book, and tell us about it.
So I don't know if you know, his name is Just Mike the Poet. Do you know who he is?
Just Mike the Poet. No.
Okay, he's an author and poet. He's from Philly, and he's the one that convinced me to write the book. After the show, I met up with him in Miami. I was with mutual friends, and he's like, I'm starting to publish a company. He had already written books. He's like, you should write a book. And I'm like, and then he just kept telling me, kept drilling it. And I was like, that night I was in a model house at the time. I went and I just started writing, and I didn't stop. And finished the book. I hit him up, and he published the book. So he was the reason why I wrote the book. I never thought about being an author. I always loved literature, but I never wanted to be an author. But then when I met him, it sparked something in me. And then I was also good at writing. So it was like, maybe we're onto something here, you know? So I don't think I even told him that. But yeah, he was the reason why I wrote the book.
And what is the book all about without giving out too many information? We want people to read it.
So the book is called Trust Your Journey, and it's about my experiences in modeling and my experiences in life. And I use my experiences to teach readers that you can literally get through adversity. So I use my failures, my successes, my disappointments, my insecurities. I'm very honest. It's raw and unfiltered tell about the things I went through throughout my modeling career. With traveling, I cover my time in, I think, in Miami and LA, and all of the things that I went through, from heartbreaks to losing my, and because I learned that I'm inspired by people who are authentic and who are transparent. And sometimes when you're going through your life, like you're all alone, you feel like, damn, this person is so, you don't know their story, their struggle, so you think that there's something wrong with you. And then when you hear somebody who looks like they're doing so much, and you see all the shit that they have to go through to get those things, you're like, oh, okay, so this is normal, so I can get through this. So that's that book. Just like you can get through whatever it is you think you can get through. Why and how, I know that. So I just use my personal experiences. It's candid about racism. I talk about different things, and it's a beautiful story about how I just got through shit. And I mean, I need to write another one this year. Test a whole lot, because you're always learning, and then you're always going through different experiences. You're always getting new perspectives, and it challenges your. And I wrote that for 5 years ago. I can only imagine the tell lessons I can give to, you know. But it's a great read.
And so are you thinking about writing a new book?
But I wrote a new book. It's called To Strong Woman. I have not edited it yet. Okay. But great book. I wrote it in April. I got up one night like 4 a.m. I just started. I finished 2 days. Go ahead, girl. It's just, thank you. It's just it's the process of releasing a book. It's just so many processes, and so it's just so tedious. I was like, let me get the swimsuit line out. Let me build that. I was doing a podcast, so I was like, all right, let me figure those things out, get a footing on those things before I release a book, because I do everything on my own. I design the cover sometimes, or hire people to do that. I edit, I write. I brand and market all by myself. So like sometimes everything is just good for you, especially when you're dealing with like anxiety. But book is a great read. I wrote the book because I think that there is a missing link. I think that women receive so many messages about how to be a great woman, never are taught the other side. Like women like me, I'm not the traditional woman. Where do I go to? What do I read to be inspired? So I wrote a book like me, who think like me, who feel how I feel, who feel like we don't fit into the societal box or expectations about what a woman should be. Yeah. I'm empowered by alpha females, by modern women, by women who don't fit, like I said, the mold, the stereotypical role. So I wanted to be a voice for that movement. Like instead of always going on IG, ranting, write a great book that maybe one day a girl can see, oh shit, okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not this. I'm not difficult. I am lovable. I am desirable. I'm just different. Yeah. So the book about my experiences as a Black woman. It talks about feminism and the how white women really like kidnapped that movement, and how active in that movement, but we still guarded or didn't really have a voice, and we still don't have an equal playing field. It talks about colorism. It talks about sexism. And it's really just a book that frames the experiences of a Black woman, like I said, who don't fit the mold. Into
well, I can't wait till you put this book out.
I'm thinking about dropping it for 30, but I gotta, it's so many steps. So maybe, I don't know. But look, it's a great.
Look, you wrote it. So you can't, you gotta put it out. It's already, it's there.
Scared of my third book. I wrote two books, and I threw one away. My third, I've been so scared of my third book. I don't know why. Like, I put out the other two, like, bang, bang. The third one scared me. I'm going to do it, though.
I think you should, because number one, if you can sit there and write all that, and it's your thoughts. When people write stuff, it's all about their experience and their thought, the way they think. And things change over time. So the way you wrote your book the first time, if you wrote that same book, it will be completely different.
And that's also, I keep changing it, because I'll write a book and then I touch it for a year and then I go back and I think different. I got to just put it out there.
Yeah, put it out there, because then people can see your growth too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, and it shows that you have changed over time. So
yeah,
I think that's amazing. I would actually love to read it, because by me reading it, it would give me more of an insight into someone that is like the opposite of me, and how you think, what you're thinking about, what you're reading. It might actually make me say, let me read that book. Let me read the one that she reads, that she's reading, that's giving her information that might make me come out of my shell. Make me want to be, that empowered woman. You know what I mean? And think just a little differently when it comes to certain things. So I'm excited. I can't wait to read your first book. So it better hurry up and come through, because I hope it's going over Amazon. But I want to say thank you so much.
Yep.
For coming on When Models Talk and giving us all this wonderful information.
You're welcome, and we'll be in contact soon on the podcast.
Yes, and thank you for saying yes to it, because if you didn't say yes, I wouldn't know as much as I know about you. I wouldn't know your views on things. I would not have known your podcast that's so informative.
Thank you. Thanks for asking.
Yes, but you know what? I had to ask. But yes, thank you so much, and have a wonderful night. And thank you for everyone who tuned in to When Models Talk. Oh, and where can they find you?
At Raelia Lewis, RaeliaLewis.com. Look at my bio. I have a link tree that links you to my podcast, my accessory line, my swimsuit line, and my journey. So check out the link in my bio.
And are you on Facebook too, or no?
I'm on Facebook at Raelia Lewis. Everything is Raelia Lewis. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Easy to find. Raelia.
Yes, girl. I'm learning that too. All right. Well, thank you so much, and have a wonderful night.